That's a cute outfit. Did your husband give it to you?
No place like home.
Those wings carbon fiber?
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
Hey, Spider-Man.
Hey, man. What's up, Mr. Stark?
Spider-Man.
Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I'm continuing my series of Spider-Man reviews with, of course, the sequel to 2002 Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2. So, the plot is, when a failed nuclear fusion experiment, Alfred Molina, Dr. Octopus, turns bad, and he blames Spider-Man Tobey Maguire for the experiment going wrong, and Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man needs to deal with his normal life, and he needs to choose between being Spider-Man or being Peter Parker. And while that's going on, he needs to deal with Mary Jane getting married and Harry Osborn realizing that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. I am going to be honest here, I was a little late to the Spider-Man 2 party. I did not realize that everyone loved this movie. I listened to podcasts and stuff and reviews and stuff, and I was like, okay, this is going to be the best Spider-Man movie ever made. Because before this, I saw Spider-Man 1 first, and then I saw Spider-Man 3, which I love Spider-Man 3. But we'll get there. But I think this movie is probably one of the best Spider-Man movies, but I don't think I put it, because I'm terrible with ranking things. You guys just need to understand that with me. So, I think, but this movie I don't think is up there for me as like the best Spider-Man movie. So, I think that this movie has its moments of greatness in the entire movie. It is one of the best Spider-Man movies of all time. Now, do I like it more than the first film? I would say yes, I do like it more than the first film. It progresses the story forward, and it also, you need a, you're on the journey with Peter Parker, Tobey Maguire anyway, to go like, okay, are you this superhero that everyone looks up to, or are you this guy that needs to go to school and do well in your classes? And I think this movie does a great job. One of the best moments for me in this movie is when J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson looks at the costume, and then Spider-Man wears the costume and takes it, and then he realizes that it's gone. And then he looks up at the little door that's open, and he's like, I want Spider-Man! And he says, he's back, and then Spider-Man comes bursting through. That is such a hype moment for me. I'm just like, oh my god, yes! That's the way how to bring him back. You don't show him, you just see the costume there. J.K. Simmons walks up to it, and then he turns around, you hear, and then you're like, oh, is this what I think it is? And then when he takes the suit, and then it cuts to a newspaper, twirling in, and then Spider-Man goes through it. That's just so hype. And then it goes on to one of the best action sequences I've ever seen. And I'm hoping that No Way Home tops this, because this is the point of this series. I'm watching all these movies to lead up to No Way Home. So, and the cast is still fantastic in this movie. Tobey Maguire, he is still great. He's still one of my favourite Spider-Mans with Tom Holland. Kirsten Dunst is still fantastic. James Franco is still awesome. But also the new characters that they add into this are awesome too. Like Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus. He is amazing in this movie. You feel why, like how he becomes a bad guy, because it's not necessarily his fault. His experiment accidentally went wrong, and the experiment busts the chip on his back, which is another disgusting scene, by the way. The way they push the tentacles on it grosses me out. I don't want to talk about. But it gets rid of the inhibitor chip, I think it's called, and then it makes the arms go crazy berserk. which makes us get a Spider-Man horror scene. I wasn't really scared because I've seen this movie so many times, but I do like the idea of these arms are going to murder everyone at any cost for their own survival. And it is just amazing. And this film, with Dr. Octopus in it, he is probably one of the best Spider-Man movie villains that we ever had. Probably the best. Along with, and again we'll get there, along with Vulture and Mysterio. Those are I think my top 3 Spider-Man movie villains. It would go, I think Mysterio, then Dr. Octopus, and then probably Vulture maybe. And I think that it's just fantastic. It's brilliant. This movie has some of the best behind the scenes facts that I've ever heard in a film like this. Tobey Maguire was working on Seabiscuit, I think in 2003-ish. 2002, 2003-ish. And he broke his back riding a horse. And so that becomes a joke in the movie of when he falls down, he goes, my back! My back! But before Tobey Maguire went on to do it, they were thinking of getting Jake Gyllenhaal because Tobey wanted a ridiculous amount of money. And so they were like, well, we have Jake on the line, so we're going to replace you with him. And he was like, no, I'm good, I'll do it. And then after that, one of the other things was that Sam Raimi wanted a particular way for some of the music to be. And he talks to Danny Elfman, who'd done the music for this, and he was like, no, I'm going to do my own thing. And he's like, no, just do it like this. I'm the director, I'm doing the movie, do it like this. Because that's how they got Christopher Young. So Christopher Young did what Sam Raimi wanted. So, and then that's how we have an entirely new composer for the third one. And I think the third one, like, even though that's not Danny Elfman doing the score, Christopher Young does a fantastic job at keeping the same theme and the rhythm and the same kind of feel in the score as the first 2 films. So that is just amazing. And the thing is too, the part where Spider-Man is getting lifted up by everyone on the train and gets placed down, the kids that give him his mask back, I picked up that that is actually Tobey Maguire's nephews. So it's kind of shocking that Sam Raimi let Tobey's nephews be in that scene as a little cameo for Tobey Maguire. And yeah, and then the other thing was too, was that I never picked up on this line. So after the scene where Peter rescues the kid from the burning building, the fire brigade literally says to him, there was another person on the 4th floor that didn't make it out. I did not realize that line out of the million times I watched it. I'm like, okay, that death is pretty dark. That's pretty dark just for a quick throwaway line. And I'm just like, okay, but to be fair, Toby didn't realize that he had to go get someone else. Because he literally said, is everyone else still in there? And then the guy they ran up to was like, there's a kid on the 2nd floor. So he went to get that kid. He didn't realize, because again, you don't really hear, I think they did this on purpose, where you don't hear someone else that's not in there. So you kind of, I guess, hear just the one kid. And then when he gets out, you don't even hear, oh, help me, type of thing. So that just makes that line even more powerful. So, yeah, that is just something that I didn't pick up on the few last times that I watched it. Now, I'm interested to see in No Way Home how they tie the Spider-Man 2. I know that's going to tie all the films together, and be the Avengers Endgame of Spider-Man films. And I can't believe it. But I'm interested to see how Dr. Octopus turns bad again. Because apparently Alfred Molina even said in an interview that the moment that he dies is the moment that he comes back into Tom Holland's universe. So, which is interesting, because now you don't really know where you're going to pick Tobey Maguire up from. Like, there are some, like, I'm assuming that you pick him a little after Spider-Man 3, but there could be a way to do it after Spider-Man 2, but I will presume that you would do it after Spider-Man 3 because then you have the whole battle with Sandman and stuff like that. The other thing to tie in No Way Home is that even though that we don't know if Tom Holland and Doctor Strange are going through multiverses and doing the whole portal and going to another multiverse, or we know that the villains are coming to us, but we don't know if they are going into Tobey's universe or Tobey and Andrew are coming to us. Because our main universe is the MCU. So we don't know if they're coming to the MCU or the MCU is coming to them. If that makes sense. Because when they're coming up with names for Dr. Octopus, they literally, I think Ted Raimi's character, Sam Raimi's brother's character, they literally say Doctor Strange. And then J.K. Simmons goes, that's pretty good. Let's take him. So, I don't know how, because even Sam Raimi said in an interview recently that when they were making Spider-Man 2, we would just reference Doctor Strange just for the comic book fans. But since we have the MCU, I know, are we supposed to assume that they went into that universe and then somehow the future versions came to us? Or is basically that's just a reference and then they come later in their lives because J.K. Simmons is probably, because J.K. Simmons is older, is he MCU's version of J.K. Simmons, or is he playing the Tobey Maguire version that is a little bit more older, and Tobey Maguire is a little older with kids and married to Kirsten Dunst's Mary Jane? Or what's going to happen? We don't really know. That's why we're watching these movies to lead up into No Way Home. Now, yesterday I forgot to rank Spider-Man 1, so I'll do that now. I would put Spider-Man 1 definitely at a Michelangelo because it's just awesome. It's one of my favourite Spider-Man movies. And I think I'll put this one, the Michelangelo one. I won't be surprised if the Spider-Man ones are all Michelangelos because they're all unbelievable films. So I'm down to watch the third one. I love the third one. I seen it a few months ago because I'm editing some My Mum Watches, so keep your eyes out for those. I just need to edit 1 and 2, but I've edited 3 and it's done, but I'm not going to post it until I do edit 1 and 2. So guys, please hit the like button down below if you haven't already. Hit subscribe. Also hit the little bell icon to get notified future videos I make, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.